Okay, this is BulleyeOneshot bringing you a Dark Souls 3 video. On this one, we're going to cover the classes and see what ones you might want to be. Starting off, you have the Knight. Now, the Knight is a very well-rounded class. If you haven't played Dark Souls and you are just now getting into it, this might be a good class for you. They got pretty good health. They're pretty well balanced. They have a good armor, good shield, good sword. They're pretty well balanced. And you can do pretty good damage with them. Next you have the Mercenary. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. These guys are more of your dexterity builds. These are going to be your like dual-handing weapons and your fast weapons and fast attacking. They're very fast. You know, they got good range weapons, good damage. They have light armor. It's a dexterity build, which is, like I said, your high-end, fast-moving weapons. They're not a bad class to pick. Next up, we have our warrior. They have a ton of health. They got good damage output, strong weapons. They got decent armor. They got high atonement. It means it's going to take longer to become even weaker or weak caster. So avoid these characters if you want to dabble in magic spells. He's not somebody you want to pick if you're going to be using magic. Other than that, if you want to go like just like a straight tank build, badass, high strength weapons, good armor, you know, he's really good. Or the Knight. Next up, you have the Herald. The Heralds give you the option for healing. I believe they start with a heal. They got some survivability. They're decent for people who want to try out melee. And you can use miracles without dedicating yourself to either one. So, you know, if you wanted to be a spear-wielding miracle caster, you could do well in both, not being an expert in either one. Not a bad class to be. Now, the Thieves. Now, I believe the Thieves are going to be your weakest class to start out with. You're going to have the hardest time starting with them. But that pays off later on. They're very versatile. They can go into any range of whatever you want to do, because you know your points and how you spend them. They start with a dagger and a bow, and then the shield. I mean, there's really not a lot to them. Next up, you have your Assassin. I think that's who I'm going to play through this time with, is your Assassin. They have basic melee attacks and sorcery. Which is, in my opinion, I enjoy both those. I mean, they're all good builds. They also start with the spell Spook. So, you know, that's not a bad class to pick. If you want to, you know, use somewhat of a decent dexterity, not real heavy weapons, and you can go into sorcery too. Then you have your Sorcerer, which have extremely low health, very high intelligence. They're great for being a sorcerer. You know, they have tons of magic damage, ranged attacks, and you just want to keep your distance because you got really low HP. And then you have there's the Sorcerer. Then you have the Pyromancer. Pyromancers, they need intelligence and faith. They're kind of a hybrid. you're good for your range spells. Then they start with the axe too, so for up close and personal, you got good melee. They're a great class. I don't know what else to say. Next up, you have your cleric. That's more of your healer type class, miracle using. So if you want to use miracles, they're a great class too. One-headed mace starting out. They have not a ton of HP, but not as low as the sorcerer either. And then you have the depraved. I would not recommend if you are new to the game. I mean, you start out stark ass naked. That's kind of like your really hard class to play. I don't really know a whole lot about them, but if this video helps you out in any way, let me know. Give it a thumbs up, and I will be doing the whole series, and I hope to see you guys